Arsenal targets Alexandra Isak was spotted in London. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Because this is the African Cover Studios, and we're bringing you this story right about now of Alexandra Isak spotted in London for the very first time, and this has raised very many allegations that you never know a deal to Arsenal might be on or being negotiated in there for you. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. I go by the names of Rokani David, aka RD, onto this channel. You can as well look for us on all different social media platforms, and you'll find us there with all the different sorts of news in there. Now, social media has been covered with Alexandria Isak today. However much there are very many deals that are really coming to accomplishment, like Kulsevic from Juventus to a team which goes by the names of Tottenham Hotspur, Danny Van Beek to either Everton or Crystal Palace, Ahmad Traore to a side which goes by the names of Barcelona, Ruben Diaz. No, it's not Ruben Diaz. It's Luis Diaz coming to Liverpool. Gumares snapping Arsenal again and signing for Newcastle, and very many more other stories in there. Amad Diallo playing for United in there for you, leaving United, going to a side which goes by names of Rangers, scoring on his debut and really having a very fantastic game. All those stories were into the news today, and Manchester United still looking for a central defensive midfielder in the names of Kamara or Zakaria in there. All those stories have been in the news, but the story that has topped the news today is that of Alexandra Isak in there for you. This lad is being admired by a side which goes by names of Arsenal in there. They really like him a lot, and I'll be on record, and many of you will agree with me that you've seen me ever since these transfer targets of Arsenal, especially concerning the centre forwards, were being pointed out and negotiated about. Those that have been watching me on this channel have been consistent. I told people that Vlahovic is good, but to me, when I look at the way Arsenal is playing, Isak is better because he gives me glimpses of Thierry Henry. I tell you the truth, the way he plays like a Thierry Henry because he plays off both flanks very well. He plays as a centre forward, and he's not these centre forwards that are really going to be there waiting for the ball to reach them. He can create a goal out of nothing. He has the pace, he can run, he can shoot, he can head the ball. His physique is really good according to me, and I saw him in the Euros. I've been watching him in the La Liga in there, and he has been really doing great. So I feel like Isak is the real deal for a team which goes by names of Arsenal, and I have very many other reservations that I really have on Vlahovic coming to Arsenal in there for you, because I really feel like however much he's playing at Fiorentina, you cannot really come here and talk about Italian Serie A, because how many players have come from the Italian Serie A and shown in the Premier League? Do you tell me any? Paul Pogba, no, I've not seen him shine. I think Jorginho is trying. Lukaku is flopping. This season, Lukaku is doing nothing, totally nothing in there. Which other players coming from Italy and did well into the Premier League? They are rare, but we have numbers of players that have left La Liga and come or joined the Premier League and have done well. Let me start with Arsenal. Mesut Ozil came from Real Madrid and played well at Arsenal. Cesc Fabregas, the captain of Arsenal, that really saw Arsenal play very well in there. He came in from even the academy, but he was in Barcelona. He crossed his side and he came into the Premier League. He played very well. He shone very well. That is Cesc Fabregas in there for you. The other player that really shone very well in the Premier League is Odegaard, coming in from the La Liga and playing for Arsenal, and is playing very well. When you go to other teams like Manchester United, there is Ander Herrera, came in and played very well. From Spain, David De Gea, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, came in and played very well. Rafael Varane is playing very, very well at Manchester United. Which other player? When you look at Man City, they're having David Silva, came in and played very well. Yaya Toure came in and played very well. So history has it that many players that come from the Spanish La Liga and join the Premier League have not disappointed. I had forgotten even one matter. One matter came in from Valencia and joined a team which goes by names of Chelsea, and the rest was history. You get? They've not flopped. Most of the team, most of the players coming in from the Spanish La Liga joining Premier League don't flop. That's why I really came out and told you guys that for my case, I really want Alexander Isak. I would prefer Alexander Isak to join a team which goes by names of Arsenal other than Vlahovic, because I've seen very many players coming in from the Italian Serie A and flop because one, the Italian Serie A is slow. You get? You have lots of space and yards of space to do your thing in there. And I really feel like Isak, however much his match to goal ratio is not yet up to the level of Vlahovic in there, but I really feel like when you look at how Arsenal is playing, Arsenal deserves a player like Isak, because Isak, one, he creates chances. He's not a selfish player, good at finishing. He can shoot outside the 18-yard box area. All right, let me ask you. You've been having Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is been leaving. When did you last see Aubameyang score a goal outside the 18-yard box area? You get? He tries to shoot in there, but he is not at that level of which Arsenal plays. When you look at the Arsenal players who are playing at Arsenal, they are really fast. You get? So, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, with Isak playing ahead of them. Oh my God, that will be my dream Arsenal team. I don't support Arsenal, but I really feel like Isak is the real deal in there. But I don't know whether Arsenal will come in and raise that amount of money that Real Sociedad is looking at. Though Real Sociedad is saying we are not really going to sell this player in this winter transfer window in there for you. Now, someone has really come out and posted this transfer news. He came out and said he's having close to 200,000 followers on Twitter. The car Alexander Isak is driving around London today was bought, registered and taxed in January 2022. You don't just buy a Rolls Royce in a random country if you are on holiday for a few days. So very many people have really come out and said that Isak has been spotted in London. Yeah, true. He has been spotted in London, as you see that photo in there. He was in club and he was alongside the Manchester United former player who goes by names of Januzaj. Januzaj is a Manchester United player who came onto the map when United was playing under the regime of David Moyes in there. So Januzaj came on and played very well, and he was that young player that really announced his coming in there when he came in through under the manager who goes by names of David Moyes. Now, when you look at that photo, that is Alexander Isak with Januzaj, and guess who posted? It's Januzaj who posted. So he's in London till now, but this has come out and stipulated very many stories all over social media. If I told you what to cross-check on all over social media, very many incredible and credible sources have been talking about this move. Alexander Isak shopping in London in there, and he came in London and was in club. He's still in London right now, and we don't know what he is all about. And Fabrizio Romano on Isak to Arsenal, they love him. This is what Fabrizio Romano said. Arsenal loves Isak. They literally love him. He's at the same level of Vlahovic in terms of appreciation for Arsenal. In there, Arsenal are really trying to push her to get in this lad, but he is in London. And most of us are asking ourselves, what is he doing in London? The first answer will be, he is in London to do his stuff. You get? Because it's a winter holiday, you know that. Most of the teams in Europe are not, the national teams are not into this international break. There is the African Cup of Nations and there is an international break in there, and players look like they are really respecting it. In South America especially, players are there playing their game of football. But right now, teams like England, France, and very many other teams in Europe aren't into this. So what the teams did, because the international break is for 2 weeks, they gave their players a week off, and they are returning on Sunday or Monday to start training as they prepare for the resume of the leagues in there. So Isak decides to come to London and really do some shopping and be there. But the main reason as to why we really feel like this deal of Isak joining Arsenal is really on the brink of happening. Why did he come up and buy a car in his names? And it says that he bought a Rolls Royce. You know what that means? You cannot come in London and buy. He never rented. Quote me well. He bought a Rolls Royce in London in his names. That's one of the reasons as to why people have really come out and said that this deal is happening. Alexander Isak to a team which goes by names of Arsenal is happening. Reason, he has bought this car. He did never rented. You get? Why do you buy a Rolls Royce at this juncture? That means you are heading to Arsenal in there for you. So I will feel like that's a very good positive to my Arsenal fans and supporters that really watch the Rokani media football in there, because this is really something great for Arsenal. If at all Alexander Isak bought this car, it's like a confirmation that this lad wants to come in and play for Arsenal, and I think they're just limited details of the deal that have not yet been addressed to a team which goes by names of Real Sociedad, where this lad plays. Now, let me give you a relevancy to this. The same applied to the last game that Vlahovic played for a team which goes by names of Fiorentina. After that game where he scored even a goal, he waved bye-bye to the fans of Fiorentina, and very many people say, no, that is not going to happen. There is no way they are leaving him to go, because Arsenal, he cannot go to Arsenal. By the time, only Arsenal had shown interest into this player by the time. After all that, guess what happened? He waved bye-bye, and the team which goes by names of Juventus came in with undeniable bid to get in this player. And when you look at the situation where Arsenal is, this is a signature that Alexander Isak and Arsenal might have reached a certain agreement that even the top tier 1 journalists, especially in this transfer market, have not yet even known about. Because you cannot come to London and buy a car. You get? Because there are very many companies in London that can rent you a car. Why should Isak come to London and buy a car, a permanent car? You get? He would have really gone in and hired another car for like a week or 3 days. Then he travels back to Spain. But him coming out and buying this car is really something that is positive and showing that something positive might happen into this deal of Alexander Isak to Arsenal in there. So I really feel like Arsenal are really working hard to get this deal done, because Aubameyang and Arteta have totally fallen out. Arteta, however much Arsenal legends have really come out and told Arteta, like Roy Pala has told Arteta that please let this lad come in. Let this lad come in. Let this lad join your squad back. Arteta is saying no, and he's a man of his word. You get? And according to how he has really performed without Aubameyang, though in the previous 5 games, they last scored in the game of Man City on the 1st of January this year. The next 4 games they've not scored a goal. If I tell you remember very well, they lost to a team which goes by the names of Liverpool. They never scored in those 2 games of Liverpool. They never scored in the game of FA, where Nottingham Forest knocked them out. And recently, they played against Burnley and they drew 0-0. So in the previous 4 games Arsenal has played, they've not scored a single goal. But they've been scoring very well. And that record is really putting Arteta on pressure, because Arteta will come out and tell the board, all the players I told you to get me, I got them. I had planned my season on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but he's trying to disorganize my camp. You get? How can I trust him and bring him back? Will it be a very good example to the young players? That means they will also do the same things as Aubameyang was doing to misbehave in the camp. You get? And they will know that, oh, when it came to Aubameyang, he was forgiven. So he says, I'm not forgiving Aubameyang. And trust me, Arteta is a man of his word. If I tell you, remember what happened to Ozil. You remember Ozil? Ozil was bigger at Arsenal than Aubameyang, because he had really done great and his talent was way up there. But guess what? When he really said that Ozil, we are done with you at Arsenal, indeed they were done with him at Arsenal. And Ozil had nothing to play at Arsenal until he left for Fenerbahce in Turkey, where his roots are. So I will feel like Arteta is putting the board of Arsenal on pressure. He told them that Vlahovic was available. They have taken him. That's one of the strikers that Arsenal wanted. The second option was Alexander Isak. He's taken. So he's still available, and Arsenal still has to push and get in because the remaining options, Arsenal can't get them. Watkins cannot leave Aston Villa, you get, because Arsenal cannot break the bank. Calvert-Lewin cannot leave Everton because they are fighting for their survival in the Premier League, and the new manager, known as Frank Lampard, coming in through to do the needful at a team which goes by names of Everton, cannot allow his targets man to leave. So Arsenal needs a quality striker. They don't need these other strikers. I've seen Arsenal being linked back to David from Lyon. Is it Lyon or Lille from France? I don't really feel like this is the right signing Arsenal should make. Arsenal should go and get £60 million, place them on the table, and tell Real Sociedad, we are giving you £60 million cash and £10 million add-ons, and then they'll get you the player. Simple as that, because Arsenal, when you look at the Premier League table, it has very many chances of coming up through and completing into the top 4 positions in there, because that's why even United is reluctant to buy in and bring in more signings, because they are looking at the teams they are competing with. Spurs has done nothing like business. Arsenal has done nothing like business, and the only business these teams are doing, they are not bringing in players. They are letting players go. They want Luchesco to go. They want Ndombele to go. They want Del Ali to leave. They want Luchesco to go. They want Ndombele to go. They want another player who goes by names of Del Ali to leave a team which goes by names of Spurs. They've not yet brought in another player. The same applies to Arsenal. Arsenal have let out Kolasinac. He has left. Pablo Mari has left. Which other player? There is another player that has left. Close to 4 or 5 players are going to leave a team which goes by names of Arsenal into this transfer window of the winter, and Arsenal has not made in any signings, and they need more signings to come up and save their season. I can really assure you that Arsenal needs more signings to come and save their season, especially into that centre forward role in there, because Lacazette, you cannot trust him throughout the season. You get, he's not that player that is going to come in and score those goals. I was still telling you that when you look at the Premier League table, Arsenal is really looking promising if at all they bring in a centre forward. They are still looking at Arthur Melo, though I really feel like they are saying that the Arthur Melo deal is off. But if at all you bring in Arthur Melo and Alexandra Isak, those two will be superb signings for Arsenal in there for you. Arsenal has played 21 games. They have 36 points in there. They are remaining with 17 games to accomplish their season. 17 games, when you multiply 17 by 3, that is 51 points. When you add on 51 points to the 21, those are 72. So Arsenal are left with 51 points. To be sure that you are going to complete into the top 4 position, you must be having 70 points. So can Arsenal go ahead and win all their remaining games? I know that is out. It cannot happen. But Arsenal can really try and fight their way out, because teams like Manchester United are ahead of them. They've played one more game ahead of them, and if at all Arsenal win their game in hand, and remember, that game in hand Arsenal has, it's against Tottenham Hotspur. Do you know that? They are playing Tottenham Hotspur. That's the game they have in hand. So if Arsenal keeps its foot onto the pedal, they can force something to happen. Look, the very good example I want to give out all those people watching onto this channel. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea has played 24 games. They have 47 points. Arsenal has played 21 games. They have 36 points. That means they are 3 games behind a team which goes by names of Chelsea. Now, let me just assume that Arsenal goes in and wins all its 3 games. That means they'll be having 45 points, meaning that there will be 2 points behind a team which goes by names of Chelsea. Chelsea has played 2 games more than Manchester United. If Manchester United wins its games, Manchester United will be at 44. Arsenal will be at 45. Spurs has 4. Spurs will be at 45 points too. So you see that race. So you can't go into this race competing for the 3rd and 4th positions of the Premier League when you don't have a striker like Alexander Isak. That's out. And I think Arteta has given himself a very good reason to tell the board that, please, I really want these players at my team, because see how the table is standing, and efficiently and evidently And vividly, you can see this, that Arsenal can climb up and fight for those two positions. They can put up a race, you get? But how can they put up a race? By signing Alexander Isak. They need a centre forward, like it all note, because they create chances. Look at their game against Burnley. Arsenal had 20 shots in total, with close to 6, 7, 8 shots on target, and Arsenal didn't score a goal. That shows you the lacking of a striker. They lack a striker as a team which goes by names of Arsenal. So to me, I really feel like Arsenal really needs to get a striker, and in the names of Alexander Isak, and Isak being in London, Arsenal should utilize this, and him buying a car is a signal that I really want to come up and play for a team which goes by names of Arsenal in there. So I will feel like this is the only chance Arsenal has. The other chance that Arsenal has, if at all they aside Alexander Isak, Arsenal are playing only one tournament. Only one tournament. They're out of the FA Cup. They're out of the Carabao Cup. They're not playing Champions League. They're not playing Europa League. They're going to be playing one game per week. So, getting Alexander Isak into that team, my God, Arsenal will be firing in goals like nothing, because a player like Odegaard will do the needful. I will tell you that the most talented player at Arsenal is Odegaard. Most people will say, no, you're lying, it's Martinelli, it's Bukayo Saka, it's Thomas Partey, name it, all Emily Smith Rowe. But to me, I will feel like the most talented player at Arsenal goes by names of Odegaard. And the reason as to why I've not seen his potential is because Arsenal doesn't have a striker who is going to make those runs to release, to make Odegaard do those passes of releasing him. You get? So, let me give you an example. There are two games that saw Kian Tierney score a goal and create one. You remember those games? I think Arsenal was playing, was it Southampton? Arsenal played Southampton and another team where Bukayo Saka scored in there. So, in those two games, I saw Odegaard seeing out a pass to meet a well-placed Kian Tierney because of the run that Kian Tierney made. I really admired that. I felt like if at all a left back can make such a run, and he's running from the left back, you get? He can make such a run. And Odegaard releases him like that to score in one goal, and the second game to bang in an assist for Bukayo Saka. What if a striker like Isak is at Arsenal and can make such runs? How many passes, how many through passes, how many releases will he get from Odegaard? Because Odegaard can see out a pass to anyone, you get, provided that person makes a good run. So I will feel like Arsenal are having very many advantages, and the only thing left is to bring in this Swiss to come and play into this team. And I will feel like the captain of the team of Switzerland goes by names of Grant Xhaka. I think he has a very big group. So, sorry, Grant Xhaka is for Switzerland. This one plays for Sweden. He plays for Sweden. So, I will feel like Fred Ljungberg is at Arsenal. He's a Swede. He played for Sweden. He's one of those legendaries playing for a team who played for a team which goes by names of Sweden. He's an Arsenal legend. And I will feel like, let's see his influence. This is the problem that Manchester United is facing. Patrice Evra came out and said that the problem Manchester United is having and facing to make signings as they want is they are not using their legends, players that used to play for Manchester United, to go in and convince these players to come and play for Manchester United. You get? So I don't want Arsenal to act like Manchester United. I will feel like Arsenal should act in a more mature way than Manchester United. What should they do? Arsenal should let Fred Ljungberg, they share the nationality. They played for the national team. Isak is one of those bright players, all bright stars into the national team of Sweden. Let him get a call and holler it to Alexander Isak and tell him, please, look at the project we're having at Arsenal. It's very attractive. You get? When you look at your age, you really fit our team. Because Alexander Isak is just 22 years old. And when you look at the players at Arsenal, let me give you, Ramsdale is 21, 22. Tomiyasu, I think, is 23, 24. Ben White is 24. Gabriel is like 25. Kian Tierney, 25. Thomas Partey, I think, is like 28. Grant Xhaka, 28. Levis Lokonga, Bukayo Saka, I think, is 20. Martinelli, 20. Emily Smith-Rowe, 21. So when you look at that project, it can easily convince Alexander Isak to come in and tell him, please, when you come, we are going to be in Europe. You get? If we don't go to the Champions League, we are going to play the UEFA Europa League that we are playing right now at Real Sociedad. But if you don't join us, it's going to be hard for us to compete for the top position of the Premier League. You get? And convince him to come and show him that this project is going to be led by you. And you tell him that you know how much a centre forward contributes to a team that really plays well, because Arsenal plays very well, and you evidently see that Mikel Arteta is building something at Arsenal, and it's evidencing on the pitch too. So, Alexander Isak, Arsenal should do what it takes to bring him. If it means breaking the bank, they have to break the bank. And I'm 100% sure of Arsenal, because I've seen Arsenal do deals on the deadline day. Remember, they signed in Thomas Partey in the summer of 2020. Deadline day, they brought him to Arsenal. You get? On this one, they brought in Tomiyasu on the deadline day. And on this deadline day of January, Arsenal are really champions of completing deals quickly on the deadline day. So I really feel like Arsenal can put in that undeniable offer to a man or to a team which goes by the names of Real Sociedad and see this lad coming to a side which goes by the names of Arsenal in there. So smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. But Arsenal's target, Alexander Isak, has been spotted in London, and he is still there. He was with a former Manchester United player who goes by names of Januzaj. And remember, Januzaj plays for Real Sociedad. They are teammates with Alexander Isak, and they've been spotted in London together, having some fun and spending some cash in there, because they are into the winter transfer break in there for you. I don't know what you guys think about it. Do you think Alexander Isak is the ideal target or ideal player that Arsenal needs to save their season? Because their season looks like it's down, because in the previous 4 games they've played, they've not scored a single goal. They never scored against Nottingham Forest. They never scored against Liverpool in the 2-game tie where they eliminated. They never scored in the game of Burnley in there, and they are really waiting to see what is really going to happen to them in there. But all blogs, everywhere, social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what has made news today is all about Alexander Isak being spotted in London. And most of us have been asking ourselves a question: why did Alexander Isak come to London? And after coming to London, if he was to spend there very few days, why did he have to buy a Rolls Royce in there? Because a car was bought in his names, and it is in his names of Alexander Isak in there for you. And we are asking ourselves a big question: why did he has to buy this? Because him buying the car indicates us, or is an indicator that there is something that is going to boil in these remaining days in there for you, because the January transfer window ends on Monday, that is 31st in there. So we wait and see what is really going to come up more and develop in there. But that's what we had for you here onto the Rokani Media Football. Alexander Isak spotted in London, and your reactions are welcome in the comment section below. This is Rokani Media, broadcasting live from the African Cover Studios. We cover you in the blood of Jesus. We sign out for now. See you later, my mates. All those that have been watching us, it's a pleasure, because it's late in the night. We had close to 10-15 people watching in, and many more are really going to watch this video afterwards. A 5-finger salute to all of you that have been watching in. I'm out.